Hello, we'd like to welcome you to an overview of Benchmark Universe. The purpose of the webinar is so that you feel more comfortable logging in and playing around with some of the features and getting yourself introduced and acclimated to the program so that you're able to use this wonderful resource within your classroom and with your students. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Benchmark Universe is a web-based program, so it is able to be used on your tablets, on your desktops, on your laptops, Chromebooks, iPads. It is web-based, so there is not an app. So anywhere that you have internet, you are able to get onto this program. Each of your districts and counties will have a different and unique URL. So whatever you will need to get with your school into what your specific URL is. Once that gets typed in, you will get to a screen that looks just like this, and you will enter in your username and your password. I do want to point out two different things on this page before I go ahead and log in. There is a system check here on the left. If at any time Benchmark Universe isn't working correctly, for instance, the books aren't coming up or it's saying pop-ups are disabled, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and do a system check. Sometimes it's that JavaScript needs to be enabled. Most of the time it is just a quick, easy fix. So if you check that, do that system check, you'll be up and running. The other thing is forgot password. So at any point in time, if you are unable to log in because you forgot your password, this is where you would go to change it. All right, with that being said, once you get your username and password in, you're going to click the sign in. Both teachers and students do sign in to the same page. So it looks very much the same. In a little bit, we'll pop over to a student account so you can see how it looks a little bit different, but pretty much the exact same of what you'll be looking at on your account. So once you log in, you'll see Benchmark Universe looks much like a lot of the things we see today with the different tiles on the page. So the bulk of your time is going to be spent in My Library. So today, as we're going through the program, this is where we're going to be spending the bulk of our time. The other couple tiles I do want to point out is Messages. So this is somewhere where you can go and message students, or students can message you. At this point in time, students do not have the capability to message anybody but the teacher that they're linked to. So student-to-student communication is not able at this time. All right, the next page is assignments. When we're in the library, we're going to go through how you create an assignment, and this is where the assignments are housed that you can go back and reference or reassign at any time. The other tiles that you'll be looking at are book reviews. Students can write book reviews of their books when they're completed, and you will have to okay them before they're published. A reading log, this is a new tile. So for those of you who have seen Benchmark Universe before, this is a new feature. It's very neat in that when assignments are done or students do book reviews on a book, the books are all put into a log the date that they've read them, and we'll take another look at that as well. So that's kind of neat. You can use that for nightly reading or just a way to keep up tabs with the books that the students have read within their assignments. The other place that you will be looking at is Manage Students. This is where you can group your students. Students can be in as many groups as you want them to be. And then there's also the Benchmark blog. This is wonderful, wonderful in all of your spare time. There's a lot of great information about how you can use Benchmark Universe and other tools within your instruction. And then the help button. So all of us forget how to do something at some point in time, and so this is going to be your go-to. There are also resources such as parent letters on this page, so we do encourage you to use that help button. In addition to that help tile right there, you'll notice on every page as we navigate through the site is a show me how. So when you're on a page, if we click on the show me how button, it's actually going to come up with a quick little maybe 2-minute video of how to use that page. So if you're in the library, it's going to show you a little bit more about the library. So the nice thing about that is when it's 11 o'clock at night and we're planning and we can't figure out how to do something and maybe somebody's not up to call, you can definitely check into the resources that Benchmark has built within this platform of how to use it. So with just a quick little overview there, we're going to go ahead and jump into the library. The library is where all of your books are going to be housed. So most of you have the eBooks. I click over to the eBooks, we have over, I think, 3,600 ebook titles at this time, both in English and in Spanish. When Benchmark Universe revamped their site a couple years ago, what they introduced was this infinite scroll, meaning as I scroll down here, you're just going to see hundreds and hundreds of book titles. That can be a little daunting as you're trying to look for a book for your instruction. So what they have done is they've placed here different ways that you can actually search for the books that you're looking for. So you can search by level number, level letter. So let's go ahead and we're going to search for some level F and level G books. Let's say we're teaching first grade and we're going to look at these books. We could also say what Lexile level. By moving this toggle, you can move the Lexile level that you're looking for. We're going to go ahead and click on books. Language. For my instruction, I'm going to go ahead and click on English. You could also narrow down, you know, Benchmark is very heavy on our content area books. So maybe I want to look for a math book that we're going to use. In addition, we also have this All Filters button. So this is another way that you can add to your search and find specific books that you're looking for. So right now you'll see up at the top, these are the things I've already said I'm going to look for. Level F and level G books that are all in English that teach math. At any point in time, let's say I don't really care if it's math or not, I can just click off of that and that is gone away from my search. You may want to look for a specific comprehension strategy such as identify cause and effect. Or you may want to scroll down here and go by series. So many of you have our books in your book rooms. Let's say you have the early connection set and you want to do something with more than just your 6-packs. You want to put it up on your whiteboard. So you can go ahead and click into your early connections so that you can go back to your leveled library and look for those as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can search and filter through our different books. So we do encourage you to get in here and just kind of see what's all available for you. Once you have put in all of your different search areas, you're going to actually click on the Submit button. And let's scroll up to the top here. And you can see I have 8 books that are about identifying cause and effect on levels F and G. Okay, so some of these books you may notice right off the bat that you've seen those, such as these are part of our Reader's Theater program, and you'll see, you know, different books that you may have seen in your classrooms before. So after I have, you know, narrowed down my search, every time I come in, I don't need to re-go through all those filters. I can actually create a bookshelf. So if you'll see on the right-hand side of my screen, I have a lot of bookshelves created. And you can have as many bookshelves as you want to. They may be by the level of students. So you may have just a bookshelf for level A students, level B students, level C students. You may have it for different comprehension strategies, such as analyzing text structures, maybe different themes, such as animals and baseball. So just configure these and label them however makes sense to you. To create a new bookshelf, all you're going to do is you're going to click on this little book, the little blue box there. You're going to type your bookshelf name. So this was level F, G, identify cause and effect. And I might want to spell correctly here. All right, we're going to submit that. So you'll see right now it's the first one up here. To put these books now into that bookshelf, all I'm going to do is click on the title of the book or on the book page. Once it is yellow, it is going to drop into that bookshelf. Okay, you'll notice as I'm dropping books into this bookshelf that the number on the right-hand side is going up. The other neat thing is, let's say I see this book and I'm like, oh, that could be really great for another bookshelf. I can drop it into any of these bookshelves at any point in time. All right, so once I've created my bookshelf, I can actually go there and I can see, oh, there's all those books on that topic. Okay, I could also, at any point in time, like I said, drop into another bookshelf. So all you've got to do to create those bookshelves is go to the books, do your filters, get those books, click on the add a new bookshelf, label it, and simply drag and drop all of those books into your bookshelf. Now, let's say I want to take this one step forward, and we're going to be doing this next week with my students, so I kind of want to preload them. So for the week before, I'm going to ask them to select one book to read. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create an assignment. So you're going to click on the assignment tab. Okay, and I'm going to just type in name. So identify cause and effect. And this is for my E and G's. All right, the materials assigned. Actually, all I have to do is now drag and drop them in, just like we did with creating a bookshelf. Cool thing is you can actually put in multiple text. So students can be asked to read multiple books and do a little bit of cross-text analysis, or they can just be asked to read, one or more books. Just to get them some more background knowledge on a certain topic that we're going to be talking about next week in the classroom. Another way that you can use these is you can actually dump all of your level A books into a level A bookshelf, and then from there assign them to students for nightly reading. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about using these assignments. You'll notice down here on the audio, all of our books actually have them so the students can actually hear them being read aloud. Wonderful feature is that they are all read aloud by actors and actresses. This is great because students can listen to it and they can get an idea for fluency, intonation in their voice. So it's a wonderful resource, but sometimes we want our students to be reading them independently. So if that's the case, you can go ahead and check off that audio available so that students aren't able to go up there and click on the audio. So that's up to you. When you get into the assignment, you can actually pick and choose students. You can turn on and off their audio as well. So there's a lot of advanced features so that you can differentiate for your instruction as well. All right, so we're going to keep it on for right now. My instructions are going to be read 2 of the books and be ready to share 3 actually 2 cause and effect effects that you took note of in the text. All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to select our students. Okay, you're going to select your class. And we're going to have all of our level Q students. I should probably select a class that has kids. Here we go. All right, so you may have your students in different groups. As you see, I have here, so you could just select a group of students, or you could go through and hand-picked additional students that you want to be take part in this assignment. Once you do that, you'll notice their names down here. All of the names, once they're highlighted, they should show up down here below. You're going to click Done. And then, most important, you do have to do a start date and an end date. So the start date has to be today or later. And then due date, they're going to do this next week, so it's due on the following Monday. Click Save. And once we get the green light that it's been successfully saved, you'll be able to go over to your Assignments tab and see that it's there. All right, another thing to note is this assignment will not show up into your student's account until the day that it is assigned. So if you're assigning this for 2 weeks out, you're working ahead, and then you're going to go into your student's account and see if it's there, and it's not there, don't panic because it's not going to show up in their account until the first date of the assignment. All right, so we've just gone through that super fast. We've gone through how to filter and look for books. Once you have your filters in place, how to create a bookshelf, and then from there, how to create an assignment. I do want to also go back and show you how you can also search by title or keyword. So this is important. You have a book in your hands. You want to use it with all your students for both large and small group instruction. So you have that title, A Bear Cub Grows. You can go ahead and put it in there and look for that specific title as well. In addition, let's say right now we want to look up books about fall. So you can go ahead and click that in and do keyword searches. In addition, you could say, okay, I want fall books on levels D and E, and you can see what books come up as well. So you can use both the filters as well as your title and keyword search. All right, so we have all of these books. Now we want to dive into them a little bit further and see what it looks like when you actually read the book and how you can create some customizations with that book. So you can simply dive into the book by clicking on the book cover. Okay, you'll notice it's actually going to open up as another window. Okay. And it will ask you right away, do you want to create a customization? If you just want to read the book just to see if it's an appropriate book for your class, you can click on the No button. Or if your students just want to read it, they can click on the No button, and then they can go through and you'll see that these books look exactly like they do in the classroom when they actually have the books on hand. So you'll see this is one of our lower level early reading books as we're clicking through here. Okay, we are going to go ahead and click off of that, and I'm going to show you another book. And we'll do a little bit of customizations on this one. All right, so let's look at a visit to the United Nations here. So this time we're actually going to open it and we are going to customize the book, meaning that we're going to be able to use our tools, highlight, maybe we're going to hide some text for students. So create a customization. You can create as many customizations with the same text. This can be great to use that all of your students are able to access the same book, but maybe you're going to put in different highlights and chunk it for students so that they're actually able to dive into it on their level. So what you want to be sure that you're doing is when you're creating a customization, you are being sure that you also label it so that you know when you're going back and looking in which customization that you actually want to open. So we'll just say this is for my level 3s. Okay, say yes. All right, right off the bat, you'll see my big visual cue is when we are in working edit mode, it's graph paper behind it. Okay, so this means when I go over here to my different tools, that I'll be able to use all of them. Just a little side note, if you are going to be putting this up on a like a smartboard and use it in your classroom, we do encourage you to use the tools here within Benchmark Universe and not use your smartboard tools because it'll override the programs. So your tools are here on the right-hand side. I also want to point out that if I want to toggle back between this presentation mode so I can see what it looks like as I'm working on it, all you have to do is click on the little copy up here. To go back and work, you click on that edit mode. Up here on the top, we can actually turn off that audio for students or turn it on. If you want to hear what it looks like, sounds like, here's a little intro for you. You can go ahead and click on that at any time. Annotations. You'll notice on all of our books on the left and right hand side of the page are actual close reading notes. So when you get into working with that with your students, you can encourage them to actually take close reading notes. You can actually model this with your students as well in your large group instruction. When the students are doing it independently on their side, you can actually then go in and see their close reading notes that the students have taken. If you are working with students and this is too much of a distraction for them, you can actually turn those annotations off at any point in time as well. Okay. The print button here, this doesn't print off the book into like this cute little foldable textbook. It actually, all it does is it's going to print off the notes that you have put into place. And then as you're working through here, you're going to be encouraged to save as you go on and save that version, because if you accidentally click out, it would be very sad if you lost all of your customizations that you've put into place and worked hard on. The other thing I want to point out is they've actually started to embed all the teacher resources right here for you. It used to be on a different tab, but they've gone ahead and put them right here. So when we're planning and we have all the books in front of us, we're pulling out our teacher's guides and any other resources that might be with that book. So when we're doing this virtually, we also want to pull out our teacher resources. So if you click on that little apple, you're going to notice that the teacher resources are going to pop up into another window. They are all PDFs so that you can actually print them. So if you and another teacher are sharing a set of books, you can always go in and print off another teacher's guide. This is the full teacher's guide that you get when you order the books. Okay, so you can go through here. The other thing that is also in these teacher's guides, you will see, are the question cards. These are gold. These have all of those hard level questions that our students see on assessments. They have written them for every single book, so we really encourage you to pull these out. I have the teacher's guide loaded now, and I also have this question card, so I'm ready to do my planning. I'll go back to the book here, and I'm going to toggle through it. And actually, right off the bat, what we're going to do is we're going to block out. This is one of my favorite features. We can actually block out the title of the book. This is really fun because what we can do is we can have the students look through the whole text, read it, and then actually write a title of the book themselves. Or we can do something and say, okay, what do you think this book is about? And then you can reveal the name of it. Those shades are also really great for if you have a lot of text on a page that students can actually, it can be chunked for them as they're looking through it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and flip to the next page of our book. Table of contents. Here's our glossary. All right. We can, at any point in time, we can actually highlight some of our text. Okay. You just have to get used to kind of using some of those tools. I also, you can put in text box. You can actually put in bookmarks. The next thing is at the bottom of the screen here, you can actually see all of the page spreads. So what I can do is I can go into the teacher's guide, or I can go into that question card. This is one of my funnest things to do. Is right here is a question. What does the word aid mean in this book? Let's look for clues on page 12. Okay, so what I can do is I can actually copy this right here, and then I can go into my book. I can go to page 12 here on the bottom, open it up. All right, then I can go over here and I'm going to make a sticky note. And so all my comprehension question ones I'm going to put on a pink sticky here. I'm going to put it right here. All I'm going to do now is going to paste. Okay, so it's very easy just to drop those questions into your customization as you're going through. It may be that you're putting these sticky notes in for students to go through this and answer on their own, or it may be that you're going to read this book aloud, and you can put as many stickies in the book and mark that book up just like you're doing a read aloud with the book in your hands. It's going to prompt me to save, and I'm actually going to go over to presentation node, and you'll see right here, here's my little sticky note on the side. So when I click on it, it's going to go ahead and pop up, and then it goes away again. let's go to that cover so that you can see what that shade looks like as well. But it really just kind of takes playing with and opening up those tools. So when you shade something out, when you click on it, then it reveals. So there's just a ton you can do. Another fun thing when you're on the spread here, let's see, we're going to go back over to edit mode. You'll see when you're in presentation mode, not all of the tools are available for you to use. What's great is you can actually mark it all up, and then where you can put it in presentation mode, work with it with the students. The students can go in there and highlight and put boxes and shapes around things, and because it's in presentation mode, you're actually not able to save anything. So the students can't undo anything that you have already put into place. You'll notice when you're in edit mode, between the page spreads, there are little buttons here for you to actually add a page. I wasn't really sure why you would want to add a page at first, but once we really kind of dove into it, there's a lot of neat things that you can do. You can actually click on the page and you can create a blank page. If you create a blank page, you could actually embed questions by doing that. Say, hey, go back, look in the text for this. You could also chunk their reading. Once you get into our higher level books, they're actually books in like our readers and writers genre series that have several texts within. So you can say, okay, Monday night you need to read this, go back, answer these questions. Tuesday night you need to chunk it and do this. The other thing you can actually do is you can embed a video. So this is really cool. This one on the UN, maybe you can go on to YouTube or another site and find a little video about the UN, so that when the students go in or you're teaching it with your students, they can actually see a quick little snippet of what the UN looks like. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do with that add a page. All right. So we're going to click back here. I'm going to go ahead and get out of our teacher's guide and our question card here, and we're going to go ahead and look back at our library. So we've just gone over a ton of information. We've gone over filtering, bookshelves, assignments, and now we just got into those books and what they look like. When you are looking at your library, once you've put in some customizations, you'll see some of your titles are black and some of them are blue. When they are blue like this means that this is actually one that you have customized. If you click on it, you're going to see that there are different versions. So every single different customization is going to be on here. If I've customized it and I want to go to my version of Wales, I'm going to click on that, because when I click on it, whatever it says below is what's going to pop up when I click on the book title. Okay, so if you want to go to a clean copy, you just want to be sure that you're clicking on the actual title of the book, and then when you open it, it's going to come to the original version. All right, to go back to that main menu, if you click on the Benchmark Universe up here in the board, it's going to go back to that dashboard. We've gone through the library, the message center, is where you and your students can message back and forth. Assignments. When I click into the Assignments tab, you'll notice every single assignment that I have done now or did last year are all going to be here. You can go in and edit those at any point in time. So I can go ahead and click on this, and you can see none of my students completed this assignment. So this isn't a very good example. Over here, the red buttons, they will change to yellow and then green. Green means that they have completed that assignment. Has the due date, has the start date. You can actually delete a student off of an assignment by clicking on their button here. You can view any notes. So if they took any close reading notes or put any sticky notes as they're reading, you can actually view them right there. You can customize student material. So like I was saying, you can click on and off the audio. You could also go in and chunk their reading for them, whatever you need to do to make that text accessible for that student. You can go ahead and do that. Let's say we did this last spring. I want to do it again this fall with a new group of students. all you have to do is go over here to the right, select the students that you now want to be part of the assignment and assign it to them. So they stay kind of open, and it means they stay in your library of assignments for you to go in. You can also add more materials to it at any point in time. So there's a lot you can do within that assignments tab. All right, we're gonna get back to the main page of the assignments. You can also look at any drafts that you've done. But yeah, so that's where all of your assignments are. Okay, go back to the universe. Book reviews, reading log, we're going to look at in just a minute. Manage your students. All right, so earlier when we went over the intro, I was telling you that you can actually put students in as many groups as you want to. So if you want to put them in math groups, if you want to put them in different leveled groups, maybe you and your teachers decide that you just want to have all of your first grade on one account, so you can, if all of your students are working with different teachers and you have access to all of the students, you can do that, and then you can actually make groups of your classroom students in here. So however you want to do it, you can see I have students listed by animal groups, by leveled reading groups. All you have to do is you have to select your class. Here are my students. What I want to do is I want to add a new group. Okay, scroll. Let's see. Classes. All right, we want to add a new group here. Okay, we're going to select our students' names. All right. And then you'll label your group name, so Bears or Level A, and then all you're going to do is you're going to drag and drop those students. And I highlighted 4, so all 4 are going to go into that group. The other thing that I want to point out in this student is the little I by their name. At any point in time you don't remember what their username is, if you click on the little I by their name, and now I have it highlighted, I'm sorry. If you click on the little I, you'll see the student's username will pop up, and then if they are in any groups, it'll all be listed underneath here. All right. You can actually move students in and out of these groups just by selecting the group, and you can move them back here. Yes, we want to move her out of level A because now she's in level B, and then you just highlight her name and move her back. So there's a lot of way that you can manage students within there and make it easier when you're creating assignments and such. All right, and the other tile would be that help button. You'll notice that also comes up as another page here. So you can get started with it. There are user guides in here, and then there's more information about all the different pages, including little videos within the help button. All right, so I want to just take a minute here to show you what a student's account would look like. So when a student pops in to their account, this is a sample of what it looks like. You can see this student actually has an assignment. It's highlighted with a little red dot there, so the student knows, oh, I need to go in here, click on their assignment. Okay, you can see that she's in progress with this assignment. If she clicks on the title of it, you'll see here are all of the books that she has been assigned. So this is one that is for a nightly reading, so she's supposed to read one book every night. So she's just going down through here. When she wants to read a book, she clicks on the book over here. And then when she's done, she clicks on the done button, and then her little button will turn from red to green. The other thing that she can do is she can actually write a book review. So she can give it a number of stars of how well she likes it, and then all of her classmates can also see those reviews. Once she has clicked done and she's written a review, when she gets off of here, we could actually look at the teacher's account and her book review comes up here into, and then I can say, okay, this is a great review, and I can approve it, or I can say, that's not really appropriate for the class, and I can reject it. Can also look in the reading log. And I can look at my students here. And we were just looking at Rosalie, so let's see, Rosalie. All right. And so you can see, I can look right here every day that she has read a book. So these were assigned on this day. You can see she's read 4 of the books that have been assigned. And then if I want to go back and check her reading, I can actually open up the book right here, call her back, and we can read it together. So there's a lot that you can do with that reading log within Benchmark Universe as well. When we're looking back at the student side, when they go to the library, it looks very much the same as what your library looks like, but you'll see their filters, they can filter by grade level. So if you remember on your side, you were searching by the level, Lexile level, or letter level. The students actually have a grade level. When they click on a grade level, so first grade, it's going to include books that are on their grade level as well as a few levels below and a few levels above to create a bigger span of books. All right, and they can click on English, Spanish, but they do have the ability to customize the books, add in their own notes, and they have the ability to look at any of the books that are in the library at any time, so they can do some self-selected reading as well. So with that, that ends just kind of our little overview. I hope it was helpful. I hope you feel comfortable getting into the program, playing around with it, and we just really encourage you to get in and get your students in, and it's amazing what you'll be able to do with this program. Thank you, and we hope you have a great day.